After 16 long years and actually counting, I'm no longer ketogenic. Nonsense! I will always be ketogenic. I'm the freaking keto queen. Now, the reason why I titled or introed this video as such, that I'm no longer ketogenic, is because all of the comments yesterday saying you're not ketogenic anymore, and I'm like, what? In my mind, I was like, where did you get that from? I did a video, short, on my, you have shorts and long format videos. I was explaining that carnivore is going to die. What goes up must come down. The same thing happened with ketogenic diets. And I think that's where people got the misunderstanding or miscommunication that I'm no longer ketogenic. Of course, I'm ketogenic, and I want to go more into why, after all these years, I'm still ketogenic, why I am never going to be a strict carnivore, and how to stay on that journey. The problem with getting into ketosis is kind of a lot. You have to have a functioning gallbladder, and a lot of people have underlying gallbladder issues, and I'd say at this juncture, like 95% of all the people that I consult have either a very small underlying gallbladder issue, or it's quite apparent, and they still don't see that because most people don't hit the amount of fat that you need to get this whole lipolysis, the breaking down of body fat into ketone bodies. People don't have well or high functioning livers where these ketones are going to be made. There's so many things involved in the process of having your body burn body fat. Now, if I flip over to the carnivore world, it started off like keto, fixing autoimmunity, inflammation. A lot of vegans went from veganism to carnism because they're dealing with all the anti-nutrients in plants, the oxalates and the polyphenols that are too much, or the salicylates, and the goitrogens and the nightshades and the lectins, saponin, tannins, gluten, phytic acid, all these things. But then, same as keto, it's flipping to be a weight loss diet. Now, I've been coaching people for freaking years, so I'm such a perfect source of information of how these low carb diets affect the average person. People are doing carnivore to lose weight. There's still a handful of people that are doing it as an anti-inflammatory diet, but most people, the average person, just like keto, same exact problem. It's because this subject is trending and it's peaking now. Carnivore is really at its highest level because people who you would never assume to even know or have heard of a carnivore diet are now doing carnivore, and they're doing it all wrong. Same as keto. People were doing, and keto was the worst because there was all of these keto products and stevia and swerve and cheese and chocolate and ice cream and fatty coffees and all this garbage. And then beta hydroxybutyrate salts came into the whole scam, and then people started having health issues, and they started having oxalate dumping, and they started having keto rashes, and they started having low blood pressure and hypoglycemia. Then their hair started falling out, constipation, loose stool, and there's no difference with carnivore. The people out there who are doing a carnivore diet, who are just like vegans, they're like culty about it. I mean, they might as well go to Guyana, to where Mr. Jim and Mr. Jones, They just, it's horrible. We live in a scammy world. As a modern human, the more modern of the type of world we live in, everything's a freaking scam. Anything in life that you do that creates results, if it's quick, you're going to get scammed. Just like this Ozempic garbage. Like, talk about destroy your GI tract. But then nobody talks about that. They do a little bit, but nobody really breaks down the dangers of taking this weight loss pharmacological intervention. So carnivore is going to crash and burn. And I literally can't wait for it to crash. People hate when I say this. I'm sorry. The people who truly want to improve their health will stick around and learn how to do this lifestyle the correct way. I don't like when things become like a big, massive scam, because there are more injuries due to the scam effect of you can lose weight, you can get fixed like this. Nah, stick with the standard American diet until you're ready to really go the mile. Otherwise, people are starting to have thyroid problems on carnivore. They're starting to have blood sugar issues, blood pressure issues, and nobody's talking about it. Gout, oh my goodness. Kidney, the waste products, the kidney function goes down. I've seen so many people have their GFR, the eGFR drop, the kidney function drop on a carnivore diet. People are still thinking that if you're not crapping, that you're using all the protein. Absolutely absurd. There are so many things involved with the digestion of amino acids. There are so many things. You need peptides and enzymes and stomach acid. You also need a functioning gallbladder. Your liver has to function properly. As soon as you drop out all your carbohydrates, for those who have a hard time to stay hydrated, they have leaky gut, then you become dehydrated. And a whole video must be dedicated to this particular subject. And so often people start to become constipated. There's nothing drawing water to the colon. There's no fiber. They've cut it out. Not that you need fiber to poop, but if your colon's used to fiber, then you cut it out. And your body's used to holding on to cellular water, and then you cut it out. And you become constipated. And then somebody's telling you it's because you're using up all the protein, and then you become toxic, right? Because you're not crapping out waste products. Did anybody tell you have to crap out waste products? Estrogen. There are things that your body, the waste products of protein, you have to get them out, right? Any pesticides or any chemicals or any environmental toxins, if you're not pooping, where are those environmental toxins going? Nowhere. And if you're not eating grass-fed meat, I'm going to do a whole video about that, because that's a subject right there, right? If you're not crapping, absurd. I hope this helps. Carnivore needs to crash, and then it needs to start over again. We need to go back to the basics. Don't over convolute this dietary measure. It's great for the short term. Absolutely fantastic. And it must be ketogenic. If it's ketogenic and it's done for the short term, voila. Then you can address your inflammation. And then you can go back to certain prebiotic fibers to help stabilize the gut microbiome. And then you're going to have foods that are going to have more potassium in it and variety for taste. Just saying. Comment below. Yeah. Are you struggling with the carnivore diet? Are you one of those dogmatic people like, I've done it for 5 years or 4 years and nothing has ever happened? I'm like, just give it time. Y'all can watch me on my ketogenic journey. My ketogenic journey. I said it again, journey. You guys can see when I developed melasma out of nowhere. Magnesium deficiency. I was not on top of my magnesium. And it's very easy to jack up your hormones and your thyroid if you don't do this dietary measure the correct way. So for those who are like, oh my God, I'm amazing. And I'm like, okay, show us who you are. I would love for all the people who are like, I'm so amazing. come on my channel. Let me talk to you. Because we're going to go deep into it. We're going to go deep into it. My Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. If you need a consultation, you can go to stephanieperson.com. I've been doing this for a long time, and I feel like I got it. I really, really got it. It doesn't matter. Weight loss, thyroid, lupus, cancer, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, low blood pressure, low blood sugar, Hashimoto's, doesn't matter. I get it all. GI issues, histamine, reproductive hormonal issues, can't gain weight. I mean, the sleep issues. I deal with these people that are struggling with all these health issues and have been for years, and now it all really starts to make sense. I'm also working on the challenge, the content, and I also run a course where I cover all 3 diets because some people can't do carnivore. Their uric acid levels are too high. Their iron levels are too high. And if you don't believe me, go to Frank Tufano's channel and watch how he had to jump off carnivore. Or Paul Saladino, who had to jump off carnivore and become meat-based. Yeah. Comment below, share this content, and I'm out because now I got to edit this video and then work on the challenge.